Hello guys, welcome back to PenTest, the place where we turn curiosity into real-world cybersecurity skills. In this video, we are diving deep into one of the most powerful tools in the ethical hackers toolkit, which is Nmap, which is nothing but network mapper. Whether you are a cybersecurity student or ethical hacker or network administrator or network security analyst, or just you are passionate about the tech, learning how systems communicate, mastering Nmap will give you the core knowledge you need to understand how networks behave and where their vulnerability lies within the network. So with Nmap, you can able to discover devices on a network, or you can able to identify open ports and services, and you can also detect operating systems. You can enumerate versions for the ports and services, and even you can run custom scripts to automate scanning and vulnerability detection. But before we begin, let's hear a quick disclaimer. This video is for educational purpose only. All demonstrations are done in a lab environment. Do not scan or interact with any systems that you do not have a permission. Unauthorized scanning is illegal and unethical. Okay, first thing is first, let's open up your terminal and let's master your Nmap from beginner to like a pro. So first, what is Nmap? Nmap is a network mapper. It is free open source tool used to discover hosts and services on a computer network by sending a crafted packets and analyze the responses. Like when we send any packet, so we get the response. So we'll analyze those responses and then we can find the details of the particular host. Why it is very important? Because this is the first step in active reconnaissance, and it will help find attack surfaces and often used before vulnerability scanning or exploitation. It will also help security professionals to audit and harden the networks. Whether you are testing your own environment, Nmap is the first move. Or if you, let's take an example, you join into a security company where they give you the first job. So here they will ask you, can you please find the vulnerabilities and scan our complete network and give us a report. Here for you, everything is blank. Some companies, they will provide a white hat, which means they can give you the internal IP address of the systems or subnet and then ask you to exploit or try to scan. So the first thing what you have to do is you have to use the network mapper tool, which is Nmap, to scan the network. But make sure always check whatever you are doing, it should be within the scope. You get me? So then after, most of the network engineers, network security analysts or pen testers, they always use the Nmap to find the vulnerabilities and the open ports and services of the particular host or the target host which the company is given to you, and then report it to them. Okay, and now let's move into commands of Nmap. We'll target some host, but for now I have a virtual box and I'm running Metasploitable 2 machine on my virtual box. So let's find out the IP address of our Metasploitable 2 machine so that we can perform the scans with the Nmap against it. So here net discover, actually vbox net 0. Why I'm choosing that? Because that is my virtual box adapter. You can check with the command IPA. You can see it here. So that's why I'm using vbox net 0. So you can use net discover tool to discover the IP address of the Metasploitable 2 machine. It will take like 20 to 30 seconds to scan all of the networks. You can see here, it is scanning all of the subnets, and then it can give us which is available. So this is what you need to do in the beginning. If your team manager cannot tell you what is the subnet, and you can use this tool. It can give you a complete scanning, and then it can bring you what are the hosts are available on running. And now we have 56.101 is our Metasploitable 2 machine. So this is the machine that we use to test with Nmap, and we use the commands against it. So first, let's specify Nmap, and then I already done research on it. Okay, enter. Let's see what it can bring up. So by default, it is doing a TCP handshake, a complete full connection scan, and then it can bring. You see, we didn't indicate any ports to scan. By default, if you don't indicate even the ports, we didn't indicate to scan the ports. We just scan this particular target, and then this is what it give the response. So now we need to control these results. It's not good for us every time you just use the IP address without having any other options. Nmap is good when you use the options that they provided. So let's see now. Now we have only scan with the IP, right? You can also use the total subnet. It can also scan all complete subnet and then bring us the results. Knowing you how to correctly set up your target list, you don't waste time scanning unnecessary IPs or hit critical infrastructure by mistake. So that's why you always should use the net discovery tool to find the target host and then confirm if this is within the scope or not. Then after you can move forward. You can see if you do the whole subnet, it can also bring us for each available IP addresses the target which is alive. It can scan and give the results. So now we will start the basic port scanning. Now we have in the port scanning, the first thing we have is TCP connect scan. The option is tag S and capital T. So how we use the command is nmap tag st and then enter. So this one, as I talk about, st is a full TCP scan. So we are sending a TCP packet, a synchronized packet, and then it will give us the acknowledged packet, and then you get my point. So if you know TCP full three-way handshake, then you will understand the full TCP connect scan. So we'll also, let's trace the packet here, trace, no sorry, packet trace, and then enter. Let's see what it can bring up to us. Okay, you can see here is scan, but you see we have the connection, the TCP connection. That's what I'm telling you. In the full TCP connection, now you can see that a lot of packets is sent against to the host to check for each port. So when we start the Nmap with the TCP connect scan option followed by the target host, and then we are tracing the packets. So once you trace, you can see here it is now establishing the connection. It is sending, see on each port it is sending port 143.80. So operation now in progress. Then after is connected, the port which is open, which is connected, which means it is completely done the three-way handshake in between the hacker box, which is our Kali Linux machine, and then the target host, which is our Metasploitable 2 machine here in this case. Whatever the port is not open, you can see the connection is refused, and it can only, you can see. This is how you can use the packet trace option to trace the like to see what is happening behind with the options. Like when you use tag SD TCP connect scan, so how it will behave. So this is how you can able to see. So it establishes a full connection three-way handshake. And we will use this when you don't have a root privileges. You don't need to be a root admin for this to use. And it is easily detected by firewalls. Actually, when you use this type of, when you use the tag SD option, most of the firewalls in a network, they set up a firewall to detect full TCP scan, which is three-way handshake, because you are getting a response from the internal host to your Kali Linux machine, which means you are completing three-way handshake, and you both are connected, which means the firewall will definitely detect you and then block you. So this is not good practice when you are doing a real job. Okay, so please be aware of this. And next one we have sync scan. This is, we call it stealthy scan. The option is tag S and capital S. This is the option for stealth scan. I will explain why we call it stealth scan. And then our syntax looks like nmap, same again, and then enter. This one, the most common and default scan. Like in the beginning, if you don't use this, the option, just let's say you use the nmap and then, sorry. Okay, when you use without this, like if you scan without the tag S and S, the sync scan, by default Nmap will use the stealth scan and bring the result for us. So this is most common scan which is happening with the Nmap. And also we talk about this is this option is like a SYN scan. So what happens is when you the packet, it sends only synchronized packet but never completes the connection. In first option, what happened with the TCP connect scan, it did the full three-way handshake, but in a stealthy scan, it won't complete the full scan. Let's say when you say hi, and then hi, you're not listening to others. Maybe you wanted to respond, but you're not giving a chance. You are telling hello, hi. You are just talking. You are not letting others to talk. So you're not like it will go all the way and then come back, all the way to the host and then come back. Like it won't give you a complete connection with the target host. That's why we call it stealthy. And this one is very faster than a full TCP scan because it is just talk. Hello. No response from other side. Just talk. That's all. I don't listen to you. Only you have to listen to me and give me the results. So that's why this is very quicker and the faster scan than compared to TCP connect scan. And then after that we have UDP scan. UDP is a datagram packet scan. So you use tag U. I think now you are being familiar with the options. So there are only like 5 to 6 options that you can use in a real-time job. So now we have a UDP scan, which is tag S and U, the option. This is actually used to detect UDP-based services. For example, let's take SNMP is an UDP, and what we have, the most popular, which is the DNS, also works on UDP. Actually, UDP is very slow and less reliable, but can reveal hidden services if you use it very well. But UDP scan never skip in a real-time penetration testing or security audit. Always complete the UDP scan. It can bring you some hidden services. But always be careful when you are scanning. You should have the permission to scan the target. Now, let's go with as I told you, UDP is very slow. That's why I skip, but you can use the same syntax and then wait for the result. So now we have another, like we will scan all ports. Let's say now we're done with like TCP connect scan and then SYN scan and UDP scan. In UDP scan, we can also use a particular port to scan. For DNS, we all know the port number is 53 and enter. It can search if the DNS is open or closed. You can see now what happened here. Our DNS is open, but we did the UDP scan. If we also see tag packet trace, and let's see the results, what it can bring. Okay, what happened here? UDP connection is requested. You can see UDP connection is requested, and port 53. Yes, here. Where is it? Yes. And then what we get, the response, what we sent is UDP against this, and then you can see the result, and then it is open. So always use a packet trace to find the behavior of the flags that we set, the options. Then you get a clear idea how it works. And now let's scan all ports now. Let's use Nmap, tag P, tag. Now we have 192.168.56.101. Here, as I told you earlier, I didn't put any option here. What happens? This one will do a complete stealthy scan, which is SYN scan. If you want to check, you can check with, again, packet trace. Or you can also use Wireshark. Let me show you in Wireshark. This one you will understand in a very best way. Okay, there you go. We go back and we perform the same scan. Is it bringing? Okay, yes, you can see the type of scan. You can see SYN. As I told you, the stealth scan, the SYN scan, is not a complete TCP connect. It's not complete three-way handshake. It will just say hello, and then you see when it sent sync packet, immediately it send a reset and acknowledge, which means I don't want to listen to you, just listen to me. So you can check more in details. This is the TCP scan with a stealthy synchronized packet flag scan. So you can also use Wireshark to read your packet behavior, I mean the flag behavior. You can see all of these are sending. Let me explain. You will see it here. What is sent, what is received. I think you were looking at here. Check here. This is received, And let me put only some ports, not all, so that we'll understand it in a better way. Okay, instead of all ports, I'm going to use capital F. This one will bring popular 100 ports, I think. Yes. So let's say, let's wait for some time. Okay, it's done. So here, what happened is, it started a scan. You see, it's sent. What it sent? Please check the flag here. It sent a SYN packet, a crafted SYN packet. You can see, and then it get the acknowledgement packet here and reset packet, acknowledgement packet, reset packet. These are received. What you sent and what you received. If you check on 3306 port, then you will also find a 3306 port, the response. You will find it somewhere here. It will be there. You can use the grep option to find it. So I think you understand how the Nmap is crafting the packet, what it is sending and what we are receiving back. Depend on that, it can give the state either it is open or closed. We'll learn about the states more in detail. Okay, I need to explain one more thing for you. When I put here tag P and tag, which is like to do all port scan. In the network, we all know we have 65,530 ports are available. Okay, and it is very difficult to know which port is open for us to guess. So you can also use at the real work time on the job, you can use full scan. Then after you can dig more into that with the help of the results. So now let's go with another one. So we also have a TCP and UDP combined. Like before, we use only 111 option, right? We can also combine multiple options. Let's take an example. TCP scan is tag S and capital S, and then we have UDP scan. And then let me mention a port. Let's say I want to use from to 1 to 1000 and UDP and TCP 1 to 1000 and UDP, let's say 1 to 100, and then we use the target 192.168.56.101. Please understand, this is very important when you are doing a real-time penetration testing, how you are using the options together. And also you can see I'm checking the top TCP ports from 1 to 1000 open ports, and also I'm scanning the UDP from 1 to 100. If you hit enter, fail to resolve. Why? Guys, let me check this. Okay guys, I actually I input the wrong syntax here. You see I put the capital P, this is wrong, and I give the spaces in between them. There will be no space. The command will be like this. So now it is performing. You can check the Wireshark. What is happening? Let me reset it. Continue without scanning. Let's say let me perform the scan again. Okay, you can see it is now doing the TCP scan and then the UDP scan. For TCP scan from 1 to 1000 and UDP scan from 1 to 100. Okay, let's say if you cannot wait for results, you can also do web browse here, tag V and then another V, and then enter. It can show you what happened. Oh, sorry, I entered at the wrong place. Okay, let's go here, tag VV, and enter. It can give you web browse input like what it is scanning. You see it is completed ops ARP ping scan, and then it is discover open ports. So you will be, this is real time, and at the back you can also see the Wireshark, the type of packets it is crafting and sending it to the target host from. You can see it. So this is the, if you use tag V and V is a web browse, you can also use just V, just for normal web browse. This is deep web browse. You can see the real time. I hope you understand this command. Always please use this type of commands when you are performing real-time penetration testing on your job field. And we also have some anonymous scan, or we call it idle scan, which is a tag SI. The syntax looks like Nmap, tag S, and then I, and then you put the target. I think so. Yes, target 192.168.56.101 and enter. Prevent pings from there. I think I'm not sure. Maybe I might forget this one. We never use much, but I will definitely talk about this anonymous scan later for sure. This one actually this scans through a third-party zombie system. I need to set up that, and it will leave no traces back to you. This is very advanced scan. We will do another complete session on a anonymous scan with ideal scan, so that we will understand how we use the zombie systems to scan, and how we can be anonymous, like leaves no traces when getting back to us. This is like advanced technique. And then we have done with the port scan. Let's move to version and service detection. I hope you understand the port scanning techniques. Now in version and service detection, what it can do. So it detects the services and the software versions. Example, let's say Apache 2.2.3 or OpenSSH 7.9 P1. This is critical for mapping to now some common vulnerabilities exposures. So before that, we have to do the version scanning. The syntax is nmap check sv, and then so at the first part we done with the port scanning, right? Now we are checking on the ports. There will be services and versions for it. Now we'll find it out and use the target 192.168.56.101. Always remember, if you don't specify the type of scan, it won't give us it by default. It will take stealth scan. So always remember, the nmap by default it will take stealth scan. So you can specify and enter, and you can see nmap. The Wireshark is running with the packets it will send. You can see it's sending a lot of packets to the target host, and we can see it here later. If you want to check, you can also use the packet trace option, and you see the version now. Before we didn't see the versions. Now it can scan the port, and it can tell the state of it, and then it can show the service and the version of it. This is very, very, very important. We can easily exploit with this. And when it comes to exploitation, after the nmap active reconnaissance, we'll talk about how we can exploit each port, and how we can take full control of the machine. This is very easy, and I will show you step by step. For now, let's learn about the nmap with version scan. This is how you can read the versions. And next we'll move to OS detection. Okay, we find okay, these are the services where they are running, where they're actually running. You can find in very easy method. The easy way is 56.101. Okay, I know the IP. No, sorry, I know the target now. How? With ping. How can you find the target OS? It's very simple. You can just check the TTL value. If the TTL value is 64, it's a Linux. If it is 128, which is Windows, you can also check TTL value for OS. Let's see. We can see a lot. Okay, and you can see. Let's go with that advanced one. Which one? Okay. If we see the TTL value 64, it's probably Juniper or Linux. We'll use the Juniper to run the services. You can see the versions too. And if we run with, if you see 128, now almost everyone is updated to their Windows 10 or 11. And if you see 128, this is the Windows. So that's how you can easily check with the ping scan. Also, we have the nmap also can help you with the other commands, which is the syntax is nmap. Let me clear the terminal. Nmap check O, capital O, and then the target 168.56.101. Always remember, if you enter it, do the stealth scan. Remember this by default. That's why you need to specify the options. It depends upon the scan, what you want to find. You need to modify the syntax and enter. Also check our Wireshark. So Wireshark is capturing all packets, and you can see, I think it's finished. The scan is finished. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. So, okay, we have nmap. Okay, echo enter, and you can check the Wireshark for any packets, how it is crafting and sending. Okay, now where you come with the results. Where is the OS? If you go all the way down, the device type, you see is running Linux 2.6.x, and you can see the OS details here. It cannot tell you what the OS exactly running, but it can tell you the versions in between Linux 2.6.9 and Linux 2.6.33. Also, we have the kernel version, which is 2.6. Which is very great information with the OS version and OS. With OS versions, we can able to exploit the target machine and take control all over the machine. I will talk about this more in coming videos. Also, you can use let's say there is a command when you can perform tag OS tag OS scan tag guess. So this one also can bring very similar OS details of the machine, target machine. Let's wait for a minute and check. You can see it's the same details it can give. So that's how you can find the operating system using Nmap. Next one we have aggressive scan. Very, very, very important. Nmap, the syntax looks like tag capital A, and we didn't specify the type of scan we need. But by default, it will take stealthy scan. But always you can prefer stealthy scan. This is fast and quick. And we have the target 192.168.56.101. Here I want to scan only few ports. You can use tag F. That is fast, and then it can do the maybe 1-200 ports, the top 100 port scans. So this one aggressive scan, it has not only like what we did before, we combine, like we usually test OS detection and then the operating detection, right? But this one, it can do all together and bring more details. As you can see the scan, it do the OS detection, it do the version detection, you can see, and it will also include the script scanning. You can see the more details we can get, and also it can do the trace route. You can see it trace the route. Okay, so aggressive scan is very important. You can use with along with the other options. It can give you more details of the particular open port and the services is running, and then the type. And let's see here, FTP server, okay, connected, login as FTP, okay. Okay, you see here, great thing, FTP anonymous FTP login is allowed. We can immediately test FTP and then login. I will show you in coming videos. It is very easy. So here it says it is vulnerable now. Now we have complete FTP taken over control, like we have full control of FTP because anonymous FTP logins are allowed. So aggressive scan is very good scan. And we have timing scan. This is and then let's see how it is performed. This is very easy to understand. In Nmap, there is a, like, suppose say you have a firewall. So when you check here with the Wireshark, a bunch of packets are sent to the target. So when you receive like if your target machine is overwhelmed with a lot of port scans, and then the firewall will definitely detect and block the scan. So to avoid this, we will use the timing option. If you use T1, this is very slow. It will send one packet and another packet and another packet, one by one, slow. So it is sneaky. It will go beyond the firewall and scan the target machine and come back. This will take very long time. And we have T2. This is a little fast. And we have T3. It is more fast. And we have T4. Most of the engineers and pen testers or network security operators or a network engineer, they use T4. This is fast and safe. And we have T5, insane, very fast. If you enter immediately, the firewall will block you. So careful, never use T5. Maybe if you want for practice session, you can use T5 scan 192.168.56.101 and enter. It's very fast, very, very, very fast. You see, it is scan. I think the scan is complete. You see, it is very fast. You can also use T4. This is fast and safe when it comes to firewall. So we also have T0. This is a very, very slow scan, T0. And then this is a paranoid. You can't even find at all. The firewalls cannot even catch. Nowadays, the firewalls are set up to catch any type of scans. But we need to trick the system to get what we need. And we have T1 is sneaky, T2 is polite, T3 is normal speed, T4 is aggressive. This is the default for default speed when you use Nmap and then a target without any time. By default, it uses the T4 aggressive scan. And then we have T5. This is very fast. And the T4 always we use for labs and the fast scans. But when it comes to your real-time jump, I always recommend to go for a T1, or you can use T2 scan, T2 timings. This is best. Okay. From the next class, we'll talk about how you can output the results and how you can use the Nmap to skip the firewalls and the intrusion detection system aviation techniques, and then We also do the real-time, real-world active reconnaissance scenarios, how we can perform. And also we can do the automation and reporting with this tool. And we'll do the full active reconnaissance workflow with it. And actually we are level up with the Nmap. If you see all of the syntax which we use and if you understand them, I'm sure you will level up in Nmap, how to use Nmap. Nmap is not just a scanner, it is your fish army tool. Use it wisely, ethically, and consistently to build your skill set. If you find this helpful, subscribe to Shadow PenTest. Comment below if you want. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer that. Stay safe and stay ethical, and stay tuned for our deep dive into the network concepts. And take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.